Okay. So when you look at the chapter 5, strategic management and um, corporate public policy, strategic management and corporate public policy. Once again, I don't owe the copyright to this PowerPoint presentation. I don't owe the copyright. Everything in there is provided by Cengage Learning. I'm just using it for the purpose of education. I don't owe any single information in there. Everything is from Cengage Learning. Okay, so the book is Business and Society, Ethics, Sustainability, and Stakeholder Management, ninth edition. Archie B. Carroll and K. Buchholtz, 2015 Cengage Learning. Learning outcomes. Okay, so the first point is to describe the concept of corporate public policy and relate it to strategic management. You articulate the four major strategy levels and explain enterprise level strategy, explain social entrepreneurship and relate it to the benefit corporation, explain sustainability report and integrated reporting. You link public affairs with the strategic management function. You indicate how public affairs may be incorporated into every manager's job. Chapter outline. The concept of corporate public policy. Four key strategy levels. The strategic management process. Public affairs as a part of strategic management. The corporate public affairs function today. Summary. The concept of corporate public policy. The affirmative action, environmental sustainability, sexual harassment, product safety, employee privacy. So if we look at corporate public policy, we look at affirmative action, environmental sustainability, sexual harassment, product safety, and employee privacy. And we say corporate public policy is a firm's posture, stance, strategy, or position regarding the environmental, social, global, and ethical aspects of stakeholders and corporate functioning. So, when we talk about the corporate public policy, we say that the affirmative action, the environmental sustainability, sexual harassment, product safety, and employee privacy. Now, we look at corporate public policy as a firm's posture, stance, strategy, or position regarding the environmental, social, global, and ethical aspect of stakeholders and corporate functioning. Now, we say that corporate public policy, and strategic management. We say strategic management refers to the overall management process that strives to identify corporate purpose and to position a firm to succeed in its market environment. So the strategic management is the overall management process that strives to identify corporate purpose and to position a firm to succeed in its market environment. And we say corporate public policy incorporates sustainability as the part of the overall strategic management of the organization that focuses on the environmental, economic, social, and ethical stakeholder issues that are embedded in the decision process of the firm. So the first issue, which happens to be strategic management, refers to the overall management process that strives to identify corporate purpose and to position a firm to succeed in its market environment. Then, the corporate public policy, we say, incorporates sustainability as that part of the overall strategic management of the organization that focuses on the environmental, economic, social, ethical, stakeholder issues that are embedded in the decision process of the firm. Now, we can consider the relationship of ethics to strategic management. Ethics to strategic management. We say, for business ethics to have any meaning beyond pompous moralizing, it should be linked to corporate strategy. For business ethics to have any meaning beyond pompous moralizing, it should be linked to corporate strategy. And we say corporate strategy can be revitalized because the linkage permits addressing management issues in ethical terms. This linkage can be better understood when we think about the 4 key strategy levels. Decisions are made at several levels, steps in the strategic management process. Excuse me. So, relationship, we've already talked about ethics have any meaning beyond pompous moralizing. It should be linked to corporate strategy. We say corporate strategy can be revitalized because the linkage permits addressing management issues in ethical terms. We also say that the linkage can be better understood when we think about the 4 key strategy levels. And the 4 key strategy levels, decisions are made at several levels, and we have steps in the strategic management process. So that is it. Now, when we look at the 4 key strategy levels, we say the enterprise level strategy. Enterprise level strategy. What is the role of our firm in society? The enterprise level strategy. What is the role of our firm in society? For what do we stand? For what do we stand? That is the enterprise level strategy. Then we look at the corporate level strategy. So we have the enterprise level strategy. Then we have the corporate level strategy. And with the corporate level strategy, you say what business should we be in? What business should we be in? So we have the enterprise level strategy. We have the corporate level strategy. What business should we be in? Then we have the business level strategy. That is, how should we compete in this business or industry? Then we have the functional level strategy. That goes with how should we integrate sub-functional activities and relate them to changes in our functional area. So we have enterprise level strategy. What is the role of our firm in society? For what do we stand? Then that is the enterprise. What is the role of our firm in society? For what do we stand? Then we come to corporate level strategy. We say, what business should we be in? What business should we be in? Then we talk about the business level strategy. How should we compete in this business or industry? We have the functional level strategy. How should we integrate sub-functional activities and relate them to changes in our functional areas? The hierarchy of strategy levels. The hierarchy of strategy levels. Okay, so we say the enterprise level strategy, the corporate level strategy, the business level strategy, and then a functional level strategy. So, hierarchy of strategy levels, we say enterprise level strategy, corporate level strategy, business level strategy, functional level strategy. Okay. Emphasis. Emphasis on enterprise level strategy. Emphasis on enterprise level strategy. For what do we stand? For what do we stand? What is the role of our organization in society? What is the role of our organization in society? How is our organization perceived by our stakeholders? What is the role of our organization in society? How is our organization perceived by our stakeholders? What principles or values does our organization represent? What obligations do we have to society at large, including to the world? What are the broad implications for our current mix of businesses and allocation of resources? So we say, what is the role of our organization in society? How is our organization perceived by our stakeholders? What principles or values does our organization represent? What obligations do we have to society at large, including to the world? What are the broad implications for our current mix of businesses and allocation of resources? A positive, constructive, sensitive, firm response in a public crisis. The use of codes of ethics. That is how companies can set up ethical structures. We should have code of ethics, code of conduct. We should have mission statement, value statement, corporate creeds, vision statement, policy-oriented codes and statements. So we have codes of ethics, codes of conduct, mission statement, value statement, corporate creeds, vision statement, policy-oriented codes and statements. Excuse me. Now, when we talk about social entrepreneurship has its reason for being a mission of societal value creation. And we say the creation of wealth is a means to achieve the goal of creating societal value. We will say that social entrepreneurship's central focus is the alleviation of poverty, but it may address a range of societal goals, including education, the environment, and the arts. We also say that the bottom of the pyramid is a term used to characterize the largest and poorest socioeconomic group of people, those who live on less than $2 a day. Now, we can look at the benefit corporation. Unlike the traditional corporation, we say the benefit corporation has a broader mission that includes having a positive impact on society. Unlike the traditional corporation, we say the benefit corporation has a broader mission that includes having a positive impact on society. We also say that the societal mission does not take a back seat to shareholder wealth maximization. The societal mission does not take a back seat to shareholder wealth maximization. We say the benefit corporation offers managers, investors, and customers the opportunity to participate in or patronize businesses that promise to make social responsibility an important goal. And we say 12 states now have laws permitting companies to incorporate as benefit corporation. So we say, unlike the traditional corporation, the benefit corporation has a broader mission that includes having a positive impact on society. The societal mission does not take a backseat to shareholder wealth maximization. Then we say that the benefit corporation offers managers, investors, customers the opportunity to participate in or patronize businesses that promise to make social responsibility an important goal. And we say that states now have laws permitting companies to incorporate as benefit corporations. Now, let's look at the importance of core values. We say core values are the deeply ingrained principles that guide all of a company's actions and decisions. Core values are the deeply ingrained principles that guide all of a company's actions and decisions. We say core values serve as cultural cornerstones. Core values serve as cultural cornerstones. We also say that core values have a set of core values that are not allowed will do no good. Having a set of core values that are not followed will do no good. And then we say, to be effective, firms need to weave core values into everything they do. And we say, if a firm's core values are not upheld, they become hollow and do more harm than good. Other manifestations of enterprise level thinking. Establishment of public policy committees. Sustainability, ethics, corporate philanthropy, etc. Establishment of a public affairs office included in strategic decision making. Identification of social or public issues. We say is integrated into strategic management processes. So we have establishment of public policy committees, sustainability, ethics, corporate philanthropy, etc. We have the establishment of a public affairs office included in strategic decision making. We have identification of social or public issues integrated into strategic management processes. Okay, now let's look at the strategic management process. Let's look at the strategic management process. With the strategic management process, we go for goal formulation, we go for strategy formulation, the strategy evaluation, strategy implementation, strategic control, environmental analysis. So, with the strategic management process, we have the goal formulation, we have the strategy formulation, we have the strategy evaluation, we have the strategy implementation, we have the strategy control, and environmental analysis. Now, when we look at the strategic management process and corporate public policy, now when we look at the environmental analysis, we say stakeholder environment. We say stakeholder environment. And when we talk of the stakeholder environment, we talk of the consumer stakeholder, the owner stakeholder, the employee stakeholder, the community stakeholder, the governmental stakeholder, the social activist stakeholder, and then the environmental stakeholder. So all these are the environmental analysis of the stakeholder environment. When you look at the environmental analysis deep down, where we have the organizational environment, we look at the goal formulation, that is a social goal set. Then we look at the strategy formulation, what the organization ought to do, which goes in line with the strategy evaluation. So we have the goal formulation. After goal formulation, go to strategy formulation. Then after strategy formulation, we come here and look at the strategy evaluation. So strategy formulation and strategy evaluation and strategy implementation is just on the same level. Then we come to the strategy control, the social auditing, which is one approach that depends on the implementation. So there is the goal formulation. When there is goal formulation, we come to strategy. So the goal has been set, and then the strategy has been adopted for the goal. After the goal has been set and the strategy has been adopted, then we come to the evaluation of the strategy, then implementation of the strategy. So goal has been formed, strategy formulated, strategy evaluated, strategy implemented. Then we have the strategy control, social auditing on the implementation. So this is very, very important. So goal formulation, we have strategy formulation, strategy evaluation, strategy implementation, then there is audit as a control. Now, component of strategy formulation. Component of strategy formulation. If you want to look at strategy formulation, we said that the strategy formulation metric, when we look at a company, the organizational strengths and weaknesses, what can be done, okay, at the company level. Then the same level, we look at the market opportunities, what might be done. So what can be done and what might be done. So what we can do at the company level and what might be done at the market level. Okay, then we look at the management level, where personal values and aspirations of management, what we want to do, comes here as a component of strategy formulation. Then we come to acknowledge obligations to society, what to be done. So we have what can be done, what might be done, what we want to do, and what ought to be done. So that is the component of strategy formulation at the company level, at the market level, at the management, and at the society. Now, we can look at the strategic corporate social responsibility. Strategic corporate social responsibility. We say corporate social responsibility, and competitive advantage. Corporate social responsibility and competitive advantage. Three ways corporations intersect with society. Three ways corporations intersect with society. One, we have the generic social issues. Firms' operations do not affect society, and issue is not material to firms' long-term competitiveness. So we have generic social issues. We say the firm's operations do not affect society, and issue is not material to firms' long-term competitiveness. Then we come to the value chain social impact. The value chain social impact, where a firm's normal operations significantly affect society. We are talking about where a firm's normal operations significantly affect society. Then we come to social dimensions of competitive context. So we have the generic social issues. Firms' operations do not affect society. An issue is not material to firms' long-term competitiveness. I would say the value chain social impact is the generic social issue. We have the value chain social impact. We say a firm's normal operations significantly affect society. A firm's normal operations significantly affect society. Then we have the social dimensions of competitive context. We have the social dimensions of competitive context. And whether we say that social issues affect the underlying drivers of a firm's competitiveness. Social issues affect the underlying drivers of a firm's competitiveness. These categories divide into two modes of corporate involvement. These categories divide into two modes of corporate involvement. Now, when we talk of the corporate social responsibility, when we talk of the strategic corporate social responsibility, anytime we talk of the strategic corporate social responsibility, we say that the strategic corporate social responsibility, the responsive CSR, it addresses generic social impacts through good corporate citizenship and value chain social impact by mitigating harm. We say responsive corporate social responsibility, it addresses generic social impact through good corporate citizenship and value chain. And we say that it's social impact by mitigating harm. Okay. Now, that's a responsive corporate social responsibility. We say that the responsive addresses generic social impact through good corporate citizenship and value chain social impact by mitigating harm. Okay. Then we say strategic corporate social responsibility. Strategic corporate social responsibility. We say it transforms value chain social impact into activities that benefit society while reinforcing corporate strategy. We say that the strategic corporate social responsibility, it transforms value chain social impacts into activities that benefit society while reinforcing corporate strategy. Okay, then we have the advanced strategic philanthropy that leverages competitiveness. Advanced strategic philanthropy that leverages competitiveness. So we have one, responsive corporate social responsibility, addresses generic social impact through good corporate citizenship and value chain social impact by mitigating harm. We have the strategic corporate social responsibility transforms value chain social impact into activities that benefit society while reinforcing corporate strategy. We say also that an advanced strategic philanthropy that leverages competitiveness. Okay. Now, measuring sustainable corporate performance. If we want to measure sustainable corporate performance, what do? We need to achieve sustainability, which requires performance accountability. If we want to achieve sustainability, it requires performance accountability. Then we also have to look at when firms measure only financial performance. When firms measure only financial performance, environmental and social considerations become side issues. So say when firms measure only financial performance, environmental and social considerations become side issues. Then we say to achieve sustainability, the triple bottom line must be reflected in every aspect of the firm's operation. To achieve sustainability, the triple bottom line must be reflected in every aspect of the firm's operation. Okay, now Well, let's look at sustainability report. Let's look at sustainability report. Sustainability report. We say that integrated report, IR, integrated report reflects the extent to which the firm is creating value in the triple bottom line. Sustainability report, that is integrated report IR, reflects the extent to which the firm is creating value in the triple bottom line. They have the social audit, social responsibility report, and environmental impact report focus on specific areas. So when we are doing measuring sustainable corporate performance, we now have to achieve sustainability, which requires performance accountability. We look at when firms measure only financial performance, environmental and social considerations become side issues. We look at to achieve sustainability, the triple bottom line must be reflected in every aspect of the firm's operation. And we say the sustainability report, integrated report, it reflects the extent to which the firm is creating value in the triple bottom line. Now we say that the social audit, social responsibility report, and environmental impact report focus on specific areas. Now, public affairs as part of strategic management. Public affairs as part of strategic management. Now, when you look at public affairs, and we want to talk of public affairs as part of strategic management, we say strategic management process. Here, we come here. We say that the public affairs management, part of which we talk of the enterprise level strategy, and we talk about the environmental analysis. So public affairs as a part of strategic management, we talk about strategic management process, the enterprise level strategy, and environmental analysis. And we say the public affairs management now looks at corporate public policy and issues management. Okay, so now this is it, the public affairs as part of strategic management. Here we say the strategic management process. Now, this is how it goes. So we have the enterprise level strategy, then it leads to the corporate public policy. That's the enterprise level strategy, leads to the corporate public policy. And it also leads to issues management. Then issue management now builds on the environmental analysis. And with the environmental analysis, we would have to now consider crisis management. So there is enterprise level strategy, corporate public policy, issues management, crisis management, and environmental analysis. Now, when you look at the corporate public affairs function today, the corporate public affairs function today, we say that public affairs grew in the US because of one, the growing magnitude and impact of government. Two, the changing nature of the political system. Three, the recognition by business that it was being outflanked by interest counter to its own. Now we say four, they need to be more active in politics outside traditional community-related aspects. So public affairs grew in the United States because of the growing magnitude and impact of government, the changing nature of the political system, the recognition of business that it was being outflanked by interest counter to its own, then the need to be more active in politics outside traditional community-related aspects. Okay, now public affairs defined. So Public Affairs Council, we say the leading organization of executives who do the PA work of companies, defines the PA. The public affairs, we say that the public affairs represent an organization's efforts to monitor and manage its business environment. They monitor and manage its business environment. And we say it combines government relations, communications, issues management, and corporate citizenship strategies to influence public policy, build a strong reputation, and find common ground with stakeholders. So we say public affairs represent an organization's effort to monitor and manage its business environment. It combines government relations, communications, issues management, and corporate citizenship strategies to influence public policy, build a strong reputation, and find common grounds with stakeholders. Now, we say public affairs activities and functions. We say public affairs began from isolated company initiatives designed to handle diverse activities, but was sometimes managed by public relations staffers, but they are not the same. So public affairs and public relations are not the same. We say public relations focus on selling a product. That is public relations, on selling a product, while public affairs is designed to influence public policy. So public affairs is designed to influence public policy. Now, PA, we say that the activities may include lobbying, global public affairs, social media, corporate responsibility, campaign finance, grassroots advocacy, crisis communication, and more. So PA activities may include lobbying, global public affairs, social media, corporate responsibility, campaign finance, grassroots advocacy, crisis communication, and more. Okay. Now we said the future of corporate PA. The future of corporate PA. The future of corporate PA. If the PA function is to be effective, it must have influence at the top management level. If the PA function is to be effective, it must have influence at the top management level. And we say because of corporate ethical crisis, PA specialists have an ideal opportunity to help transform business and society relationships. Then we say there are three primary opportunities. And these three primary opportunities, we say it helps develop value-based enterprises and work cooperatively with them on social issues. We say the PA executives can be thought leaders in their firms and collaborate with those outside the firm on current issues. We say be mindful of global issues, including those which begin as domestic issues and migrate. So help develop value-based enterprises and work cooperatively with them on social issues. PA executives can be thought leaders in their firms and collaborate with those outside the firm on current issues. And we say be mindful of global issues, including those which begin as domestic issues and migrate. So with this, we will draw the curtains to a close and we say the key terms was to look at the benefit corporation, the bottom of the pyramid, the business level strategy, the corporate level strategy, the corporate public affairs. We say corporate public policy, enterprise level strategy. We looked at the functional level strategy, the global reporting initiative, issues and crisis management, and public affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, I owe no title to the copyright. And I said it's by Cengage Learning 2015. It's by my affiliation with Elite College and by way of just sharing knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet another time. I will take you through the chapter 6. Thank you.